What's up everybody? Welcome to Car Question. Matt is riding the NSX this week. This is the new generation of an iconic car of the past. Yes, my first contact with the previous NSX was in Need for Speed 1. A lot of classic car were in that video games where it created a lot of enthusiasm and dreams with those kind of exotic car. A lot of people told me that, hey, this is not going to be like the previous version. First of all, it doesn't look like what it used to be. And how about inside the car, the mechanics, the component, the computers? And a lot of people were like, oh no, this cannot be happening. But guess what? This is evolution. You cannot get an NSX like it used to be in the past. Even if I want to buy one right now, I really love that older car. But today we have evolved and look at that new generation of NSX. When you look at the exterior, it's looking like a Lamborghini, at least when you check the side, the intake. Otherwise in the front, it's typical Acura, but I think it's one of the best way to look at this car right there, with the famous dual highs headlight. And once you go on the side, those wheels, and look through the wheels, you're gonna see some amazing brakes. Carbon, they're aggressive. I love also the color of the calipers. And even if this car has seen some kilometers on the road, it's still intact. The color is just perfect. Let's talk about the color of the car. This is an optional color, but look at that. They've added many components of carbon. This is optional. This will also cost a lot of money. And I love when you get to the trunk section where you can see the engine. A lot of people in the city, when we went to a diner, were looking and taking picture a little bit too close for my taste. I cannot have a car, an exotic just like this one. My heart will always be scared of what people are going to do to a car when there's a big pile of them all around to take some pictures. I love the wheel. The tires are really large at the rear of the car, 300 and 530 ZR20. Those are real grippy, but you can go for the Pirelli, which will be more impressive on a track, or if you like more performance. Otherwise, I love the styling. The rear of the car is a little bit just like an Aston Martin, but it's really unique out there, and that's what I like with this one. Do you like the style? Well, I do. Let's get inside. Well, my first deception is that multimedia system. What happened? You're gonna find the same display, the same menu as in an Honda Fit, as in an Honda Civic, even an older Accord. What happened, Acura? Shame on you. You cannot do that to an exotic car. At least put something special in it. How about some menu, performance menu, just like a regular American car has now? And how about the graphic, the quality, the response of that multimedia system? Well, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto will once again save you from that scary multimedia system, which is so slow. Otherwise, in the center, I really love the cluster, the display, that you're going to mainly focus on your engine RPM. And once you're going to switch your drive mode on a much more aggressive setting, you're going to see some modification also to that display. Otherwise, the interior is looking great. I really love the steering wheel with the carbon edition, the material, the quality that I'm seeing inside, and also the seat, not too firm, not too hard on your side, even if you're into performance or simply driving on the highway. Let's talk about the engine. Well, there's more than one, but only one configuration. It's a twin-turbo V6 power, 3.5 liter, real aggressive, real fast. It's mated to a 9-speed transmission, and you've got an awesome sport hybrid SH all-wheel drive system with 2 electrical engines, one for each front wheel, and you've got a third one which is going to act as rear direct drive motor. Well, let's talk about the engine, the regular gas one. It's good for 500 horsepower at 6,500 through 7,500 RPM. It's a screamer engine. The sound is just amazing. And it's good for 406 pound-feet of torque between 2,000 and 6,000 RPM. The maximum engine speed is going to be 7,500 RPM, where you get your full horsepower. And it's going to be 143 horsepower per liter for that engine. Impressive number it is. When you get to the rear direct drive motor, it's a generator type. This one's going to be good for 47 horsepower at 3000 RPM and 109 pound-feet of torque between 500 and 2000 RPM. So the torque's going to be there as soon as you leave the start line. And for the traction motor in front, 36 plus 36 horsepower at 4000 RPM, 54 plus 54 pound-feet of torque between 0 through 2000 RPM. So torque is impressive as soon as you accelerate with that one. So since it's a hybrid system, yes, you can use only the electrical engine to go around in the city, in your parking, how about in traffic, but there's no real pure electrical autonomy on that car. But still the battery is a lithium ion, so it's 1.3 kilowatt hour. And combined numbers, those are impressive. 573 horsepower and 476 pound-feet of torque. This is amazing power, real strong car. And let's talk about fuel consumption. What? Sports car fuel consumption don't match, even more when it comes to exotic car. Well, you're gonna have to use premium though. You can still go for the 93, which is the recommended octane fuel, but you can use also 91. So on the highway within Montreal, Quebec, when we got from the airport, and it was not too bad, about 10 liters per 100 kilometers. Well, we got to say that we did some acceleration with the car because everybody was sending us thumbs up. Well, you got to tank them. And what's the best way to tank them? Well, you slow down to 80 kilometers per hour and accelerate through 100 tops speed limit, yeah. And you get double thumbs up just for the sound of it. It's part of the experience. You got to share love. Otherwise, it's real fast, real amazing number. We rolled all this week. We did some testing. We did some acceleration, and it's 13 liters per 100 for the average of all the kilometers that we have done. And it's amazing score. Some sports car with less horsepower will drink more gas, and it's even worse when you get with those big animal things, you know, the competition there, and gas will simply flow out the tailpipe. But let's talk about the road handling with that amazing car. Well, the V6 is going to power the rear wheels alone, and each front wheel has its own electric motor. So it's a real big challenge that the car electronics will work that out to make sure that when you're gonna accelerate, it's gonna be right there. As soon as you're into a curve, this electrical engine will need to give you some power, and it's even more impressive that when you're going to be into bad weather, this car will give you all the confidence that you need behind the steering wheel. And I've told you guys, you've got some American car with more horsepower, but you get scared by them as soon as you accelerate. It starts to fishtail. It's not as stable as this car. This one, that NSX, will permit you to make some mistakes, and you will still feel confident to bring back the car on its fast lane on the track. And there you go, God will forget your error. It's a real fast car that you get confident behind the wheel, and that's what we like. And you can see it also in the professional race where you can see the NSX perform. It's an amazing, great, and good car when it comes to handling, and that's what I like. It's real agile. You've got also a drive mode right here that it's called dynamic that you can switch. You have 4 different modes: the quiet one, the sports, sport plus, and track mode. Track mode will be enabled once you're gonna hold that button completely to the right for a few seconds, and you will see that the traction system will go off. And you know what? This car will change the throttle, the brake, and the steering response. Also, the feedback that it's going to give you. The Sport Hybrid SH all-wheel drive power unit will change the drive force that it's going to send through that system. The suspension response, the feedback, the support will be also influenced by those dynamic modes. How about vehicle stability, agile handling assist, and traction control, and even the engine sound, which is a real music to the ear, inside and outside. Well, it's really close to me right there in the back though, so you will probably hear it a lot of time. But the magic of the sound comes when you're going to be accelerating. So track mode is really for the track. This is where the car will fit in its perfect environment. Here on Quebec's road, it's a real disappointment. Once you're going to feel all those bumps, even if you're in a quiet mode, you will feel it. It's still comfortable though, but this kind of car belongs on a racetrack, or well, if you want to make some head turn in the city, you got to be careful because you're going to be in the real ticket zone really soon. If you want the car to give you the permission to do what you want, put it into track mode and press right there on the VAC button, hold it, and all the system, all the assist will be gone. you're up on your own. But believe me, this is where fun really happens. And I love the fact that this car, you look where you want to go, it will go there, and it's real permissive if you make some mistakes on the track. Acceleration are lightning fast. On papers, Acura will tell us that this car will be able to do 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds. Well, the good one will do it around 3, but here in Quebec, the asphalt that we have doesn't give you much traction. You can still use the launch mode, by the way. First, you got to be at a full stop, apply the pressure of the brake pedal, and apply also the accelerator all the way to the floor. And once you're going to release the brake pedal, the NSX will launch with maximum peak power, preloading also your turbo. And get ready, hold on your hats everybody, this car is gone like the wind. So we might do it a bit over 3 seconds though, when you look at the quality of the asphalt that we have here. Remember, we have the Continental tires, those are not the grippier ones. So even if you use the launch mode, sometimes it will hesitate a little bit because the car thinks that it's losing traction, but it's only the bad roads here in Quebec with a lot of sand on it sometimes, so it's much more slippery. But acceleration, even on the highway, you put it into Sport Plus mode, you accelerate, it's instantly accelerating and breaking your neck, including the one of your passenger. It's really fast. When it comes to braking, it's drive-by-wire. By the way, that's the kind of things that the purists really like to have, that mechanical feeling. For me, I find them well calibrated, and the optional brakes that we have on the car, they look good, but they also work really fine, and you won't lose any braking force. Direction is real great, even more into turns where you can imagine that those EV motors needs to work real hard to send the car around. The suspension adjustable, once you're gonna be in track mode, it's super hard and not really great for regular road, but we really like that on a track, the feeling that we get. If you're gonna do an emergency braking, you will see also sometimes that movement. It's firm, but under hard braking, it's kind of a strange feeling. But if you put it into quiet mode, it's kind of soft. You will be able to go to the grocery store, but do not break back ice cream, because in the trunk, first of all, it's real small and it gets hot over time because of the engine in that position. Once you're going to be into traffic, you can do the stop and go feature fully electric with the EV engine, so your transmission, your clutches will be safe from that stop and go movement. Same thing also for the long distances. If you're going on a trip, check the trunk first because it's not real big, but you can still be comfortable with the seat, with the sound of the engine, and with that fuel economy also. Let's talk about the minus points though. Well, that multimedia system is unacceptable. You don't get any bonus point for that one, Acura, when I look and I can't find any performance menu. The trunk, we had to play Tetris with our luggage once we got back from the airport at Montreal. Somebody had to bring back a bag on its knee, and that's not real cool. It should have been a little bit bigger to make sure that you could fit at least 2 suitcases. You don't get any individual configuration of the SH all-wheel drive system. How about the direction feeling? How about the brake, the accelerator, name it? You only get what the dynamic mode gives you. Some people find the experience of the NSX flat. Well, believe me, the Acura NSX is a real enjoyable niche car and got a little thing of its own that I really like. Yes, the suspension can be put into soft mode with the quiet mode, but they should have even a softer setting to make sure that you're going to be even more comfortable on those highway drive. The seat, you cannot lift them, you cannot lower them, so it's kind of missing some adjustment. And how about that climate control that once you're going to be trying to adjust it through the multimedia system is slow to react and it's not looking good. On the plus side though, you've got that sound which is amazing once you're going to accelerate with the car. I really love that. When you put it into neutral and give it some rev, doesn't seem like it's good. When you lower your window, you listen to the intake right there on the side, doesn't sound well. But once you're gonna put some load on that engine, wow. All-wheel drive system, direct, reactive. I love the feeling also that it's going to give you in bad weather. I love the confidence that I have once again behind the wheel of that Acura NSX, and that's part due to that famous all-wheel drive system. It can be discreet in quiet mode to make sure that you don't wake the neighbor if they want to sleep because they don't get a job to pay this kind of car. And you can be also real fuel economic once you put it into quiet mode, and the car is going to maximize the use of that EV power. Hybrid all-wheel drive, I really really love that system of Acura, and it's a car that will probably be real reliable over time. This car has a lot of mileage. It's a press car. It's been beaten by everybody, and there's no loose at all everywhere. The paint is still in great quality and it feels solid. So this tells a lot over time. You can also go through the collection of NSX things, the apparel if you want. You can choose a carbon fiber wallet, but my preferred item is that watch. If you want to make me a present, guys, send me that nice NSX watch. Yes, I know it can be pricey, but hey, I want it and I love that, and it's a plus point. You got also the colors of the car that this year you can get with the famous yellow that you could see in the past. It's a real nice way to recreate that little classic emotion. So let's talk about the competition out there. You've got the Corvette C8, which is going to be an amazing contender. Why? Because of its price. It's so aggressive. You don't get all-wheel drive system, but remember, guys, we will have the ZR version soon. So they might try to use probably a similar system to that Acura. I don't know. How about an hybrid Corvette? One thing is sure is that they need the front wheel to work to pull this car to get some better number. Even if the Acura NSX is an impressive piece of technology, that future Corvette will be an aggressive machine. You've got the Porsche 911. When you look at the interior of the NSX and when you look at the interior of that Porsche, well, the Porsche is gonna win. Its heritage is also real important. You can get a Porsche 911 since it was born, so it's not a comeback just like the NSX, and that's why it's one of my favorite cars. Even if the exterior design seems to look alike after every version though, I think they should put more effort in giving me a more aggressive car when it comes to looks. I really like that Porsche 911. You've got the Audi R8, which is impressive. I really love that V10 engine. Its drivability, its performance, that multimedia system should inspire Acura. Look at that. You can see how you can make a great multimedia system, but that V10 is real thirsty over time. And you've got the famous AMG GT of Mercedes-Benz. It's brute. C'est brut. It's a real beast. C'est une bête. The rear visibility though is not that great. You've got a really nice design there, a real impressive and unique car. So when it comes to price, ooh, exotic car and price, Matt, well, I'm not gonna lie to you, this car is worth more than 200 grand. This is a lot of money with its configuration, but this is an exotic car. So let's say that you have this kind of money. Which famous car will you buy? An NSX or a Porsche, or I don't know? Feel free to tell me in the comment section down there below. So now the big question, is this NSX a great comeback from the classic of the past? It's really impressive to see how technology makes car better for the driver of today that often are not used to such horsepower in those big beasts. So otherwise, what do you think, guys? Feel free to tell me in the comment section down there below. Acceleration will be available soon. Don't forget to subscribe to Car Question. Thumbs up. This video was a little bit longer, but hey, here we love car and I love this NSX. Take care. See you later.